Hello, I'm Luke. Getting into Module 2, I want to go over what ideas I actually agree with, what inspires me, and some things I don't agree with. So Module 2 covered how cities grow, how they're organized, the newer versions of them, and I want to connect that material to what I think a good city should be and what I've seen in my own life. So the urbanization and urban models, where you explained how people move from rural areas into urban ones, and how geographers use or they describe city layouts with models like Burgess rings, Hoyt sectors, multiple nuclei, and galactic cities, which is some pretty interesting vocabulary. So it's cool to set up these cities these ways with all these, these edge cities and cars and highways and rings and wedges and whatever, but it doesn't really decide whether someone wants to move there or not, because I don't look at a random city, New York City, and say, I want to move there because they have a circular highway that goes around the whole city and it's really nice. I think Louisville is that way. I can't quite remember. I've been somewhere that's like. Getting to what I value versus the models, obviously I'm not interested in the big galactic, super efficient getting around the city models. I'm also just not a city guy. I'm more interested in these tight-knit communities where within the whole, you have all these little sectors, and from within there's lots of community. So getting into the Garden City and what I like about it, so Fishman describes Howard's Garden City with limited town sizes, green belts, and an attempt to mix town and country, which is amazing. So it protects green space and it does not let cities sprawl endlessly. Smaller communities so that people actually know each other. This fits more with my kind of green forward and not a giant machine for moving cars. Because why can't a city just not be all about profit all the time, which is amazing and cool and good and all. Yes, grow the economy, but why can't the place just be a vibe that works and lets people relax? Why can't it be, I want to go retire in Garden City instead of retire in Florida? Can Garden City be just as relaxing and nice? Lee Corbusier and Wright, I hope I'm saying that right, and what I dislike. So the Radiant City, towers, parks, strict zoning, highways, looks cool, but it's just kind of like a vertical isolation, car infrastructure jungle, and I don't think people would see each other enough. There wouldn't be such a sense of community. And Broadacre City is basically a suburban dream maxed out. Everyone's spread out on their own plot, super car forward, car focused, you have to drive everywhere. And it would be nice to give way more opportunity for walking and biking. And with the two of those, you don't get very much community because everyone's just so isolated in their cars all the time. Go here, get out the car, go immediately inside. It's just focus on efficiency, which is, necessary to a point. And there's just not a lot of human connection. So the 1939 World's Fair and Car Future and GM's Futurama exhibit really selling everyone on a car-heavy future and building these massive expressways and separating everything into zones and just commuting to each and every one of them where you want to go. And it's just a sales pitch. That's all it is, to sell more cars. And we got speed and highways, but we also got neighborhoods cut in half and noise pollution and just environment that makes it way harder to exist outside, which is fine. So the 1939 World's Fair and Car Future and GM's Futurama exhibit really selling everyone on a car-heavy future and building these massive expressways and separating everything into zones and just commuting to each and every one of them where you want to go. And it's just a sales pitch. That's all it is, to sell more cars. And we got speed and highways, but we also got neighborhoods cut in half and noise pollution and just environment that makes it way harder to exist outside, which is fine. I'm already kind of flustered by advertising just being everywhere in our face all the time. Why can't we just exist and not see this? But of course we always will. But things like this do upset me because a corporate company or a company is just designing the future so that their product will flourish. And that's exactly what that is, building these types of cities, super car focused. Obviously, the car market will dominate. So So Wilson and Jacobs. Wilson points out how more the modernist visions, in model, they're good and cool and efficient, but they're pretty cold. Like, there's no human warmth behind them. Like, you want to be able to walk around a city and feel a hug, not like a concrete jungle of concrete. So Jacobs focuses on dense mixed-use neighborhoods where, like, basically there are forced interactions and people have to look out for each other, and it's just one big shared space, which I love. Newer planning and future thinking. So Sisson's article and the APA trend report talk about planners need to think about multiple possibilities in the future and not just extending current trends, and they need to be agile and adaptable. Sidar said, our future does not just happen to us, it is shaped by our actions and inaction. Appreciate how the trend report forces planners to confront climate change, housing affordability, and the social side of technology, not just road layouts and efficiency. Additional resources in Wareland, and with the Jane Jacobs reading, I saw a message in different forms. Cities are complex and you can't engineer them like machines. So I would say where I land is pretty clear. I'm inspired by the ideas that protect nature, support more community interactions, community events, and just give people the chances to get outside and move and be active. Impose visions that double down on the highways, total car dependence, tall towers, like sterile towers, people just don't get out and interact, and then constant ads and corporate spectrum. A vision can't see people as variables or formulas. It has to see people as what they are: neighbors, citizens, moms, dads, children, whatever, as a whole human being who needs purpose in their life, because you have to have purpose. Otherwise, just like, what is the point of life? So my takeaways: how can we actually retrofit a car-dominated, ad-saturated city and make it feel human and purposeful? And how much can planners really do when money and politics push in the opposite direction of what their agenda is? So for cities, I would rather push a different story where discipline, community, nature, and everyday life matter more than pure output and ads put in our face all the time. The end.